Welcome to another episode of the Spiritual Investor Podcast. This one is going to be, maybe the audio will be a little bit different. So bear with me. I'm in Costa Rica and I am basically just getting up and swimming in the ocean and making content and doing mastermind calls and connecting with you. And I've been here 2 weeks and I'm here for another almost 2 weeks. And I was originally planning to come for 7 days. And so there's definitely an opening here. I'm feeling the polarity, but I'm also going through an opening like I never have before. And it's something that I want to share with you, talk to you about, because I feel like the polarity is present in your life as well. And the polarity is actually the gift. And what I really mean by that is the contrast. I know it feels horrible sometimes. And I know that you're like, if this would change, then my whole life would be better. Or if this one thing would happen. And this could have a lot to do with money. This could have a lot to do with if my business took off, or when my business takes off, right? Or if I had $1 million, or whatever it is. Inside the space, in the polarity, though, is where the dropping of the ego occurs when you choose it. And we had a profound week in the mastermind. We have 2 calls a week, and this is our 5th week. And during the 4th week, we got to nothingness, literal nothingness. So to the point where the silence is loud. And I think you know what I'm talking about. To the point where nothing exists around you, to the point where you need nothing. Now, the difference is this week, we got to nothingness, but still existing in the world. And that's the bridge. That's what we're looking for. The being fully present and out here, yet seeing and observing and going in and participating when you choose. And so the way that this works is you come outside of time, and you, as the observer, are seeing yourself. Now, you can't actually do that if you're emotionally entangled. And that is kind of what's going on with the rhetoric in the background right now. There's a lot of people, places, situations that are stealing your energy and your attention. But they don't have jurisdiction to do it unless you give them that. So before we go too far down into this is what's going on, because what that does is it opens up an aspect of this is wrong, when in fact there's nothing wrong going on. You are being given a greater opportunity to step into living as source full time. And that's what all of this is designed for. And so what I want to do is I want to offer you something today that I think is going to get you closer to being able to do that. And I think it's going to get you closer, not because it's a do this way. It's something for you to consider and explore as a path to get you there. But it's something that does not include the aspect of you needing to do something different unless you choose. And it doesn't include the aspect of you having done something before that was wrong. Because when you're outside of time, it's not possible that you would have done anything before that's wrong, because there's no time. And so when there's no time, there's only now. And when there's only now, then you are simply in your full power. And that's what that really means. When I'm only in now, which I could consider myself, okay, I'm here now. Like, I'm aware that there is a beautiful jungle behind you. I'm aware of this beautiful place that I'm staying in. And I mean, my hair's still like from the beach. Like I'm resonating from the mastermind call. I'm still thinking about, I'm probably going to get a beautiful dinner, but it's a percentage, it's a small percentage. When the greater percentage becomes this power and this grounding in, then what happens is your frequency becomes that. Have you ever noticed when someone walks in the room and you notice? Now you can notice for a reason like they're angry, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you notice, like you can feel something different. Um, that's who you're wanting to become. And so one of the things that you can think about is matching your way of being, which is the same thing as your energy and your frequency, to what you want rather than trying to figure out how to get what you want. When you think of it in terms of matching, what it does is it takes the severity out of it. Like it takes I need to do this different. Like I don't like boundaries myself. I don't like boundaries because it's a rule placed on something that's already happened in the past. My equivalent to a boundary is to whatever situation I want to not allow in energetically anymore. It's to build myself up in a way where I'm not so entangled that I'm allowing that in. And it's probably not going to happen all at once. It's probably going to be an incremental thing, a practice. And that's why in Spiritual Investor, it's all about practice, because what you're doing is nothing can come into this physical world without going through you as a self-expression. And so when people say a way of being really is you are pulling something off the shelf and you're trying it on. Now, old paradigm is you're doing that and then you're looking for evidence. Did this work? Did it not? Am I wrong? What do people think about me? Are they validating me? Are they not? Am I getting paid for it? Is this taking my energy? All of these things. All of that goes away. Like all that doesn't actually exist in the new paradigm, because your method of going through the world is actually you're creating. So old world paradigm is getting, you've heard me talk about this before. New world paradigm is creating. Now the difference is creating is you got to have space, right? So you're allowing space. So you are inviting what you want to come in. Now that causes you to, from the space of a creator, go, what would cause that person to come a little closer? It's probably not the same thing as me trying to get them to do something. What would cause money to come a little bit closer? The SI method, which is it's got 5 aspects. Let's just take one of them right now. One of them is money management. So you want more money in your business. That's another aspect, income. Well, they're related though, because you want more money in your business, but yet you're holding some resistance in your body, wherever the resistance is in your body. For me, it's in my diaphragm. With regards to money management, you don't see that those are directly related when you're in the 3D world. You're thinking, no, the solution to my problems is more income. Well, but your income is matched to where your frequency is, and your frequency is being determined by your money management. Does that make sense? And so the SI method is a holistic approach, not eliminating certain aspects that are causing resistance and then causing you to have to go out there and work harder or spend your energy and time doing things that are just basically pushing like a boulder up a mountain. And so with this concept of matching, and I did a whole podcast episode on calibration, you can sort of relate these two things. The matching is in effect you're calibrating to the match. So what I might do is I might say, actually, here's what I'll do. I'll give you an example. We had on a call the other day where someone was like, I want $6,000 to do some renovations in her house. And so she's been really focused on this for a long time. And she has other things as well, but just that one, $6,000 she wanted for the house. Well, Every time she thinks about the $6,000, she thinks about how she doesn't know how to get it. And then she also thinks about the $6,000 as its own entity. Wow, that means something to her. Like that's either a lot of money or not a lot of money or something like that. Either way you go, you're starting with resistance. And so, how do you actually get outside of that? Well, you can step outside. The first thing you do is you step outside of time. And so, you change the part that you are related to with regards to fulfilling the need. You configure it from a place of creation. When you're creating, there is no need because you're source and you're the creator. So you're creating the environment and the version of you who is going to be in that environment, who is going to take on that way of being and be the self-expression of that, right? You are taking that on, and if you're truly taking it on, you're not thinking about the $6,000 anymore, because you don't need to think about the $6,000 if you have gone outside of time and you're like, I'm creating the space for it. Now, one thing with her, and at first she couldn't answer this, which was, what's outside of you that you haven't done before or thought of before, or could even scare the shit out of you, that could invite that money in? Well, of course it was, she went back to, have a kid, time, all this stuff. And by the way, this is not just her. Just about everyone on the call was exactly there with her, right? In terms of hearing something about themselves, which is why I want to bring it here and hopefully add this value here for you. By the end of it, the various questions and things like that, she actually came up with a completely new way of being, that, and her entire energy shifted, like the smile and everything, a completely new way of being that was sourced from her own creativity, that would allow her to invite the money in. And so when we are thinking about this matching, that's what we're doing. We're creating to match. We're not matching from the aspect of it's wrong before and we need to figure out something completely new. This is another thing I wanted to talk to you about, is that when you're creating, because I don't want to leave you just like untethered with it. Okay, you're just creating something, right? How I know, and this is something that helps me in my life to sort of get back to and sort of keep myself in check, if you will, is when I'm creating, and it might not be apparent at first, but I'm matching my way and calibrating into it, which is when it is, I don't want to use the word in alignment because I think that could throw this off. When it is a true aspect of creation, there is going to be a win-win situation for all parties involved. If you are not creating a win-win situation, then what you're doing is you're throwing yourself into the old world paradigm, because the old world paradigm is needing. And if it's not a win-win, then somebody's going to need. And you see this in your life. If you're a people pleaser, then you may feel great about, doing all these things for someone right now, but eventually you're going to need something. And so you're in the 3D. You feel like you are in, the new world paradigm, the universal energy of things when you are giving that, but you're not really truly being honest with yourself, in that you are giving from a place of resistance within you. This is where the calibration comes in with regards to our own bodies. If at any time you are feeling any resistance in your body, you are not actually fully present and here. This is another thing that I do. That's how I keep myself in check, is I can be in my circumstances and be the observer. And so I've gotten to a level now where I can have like a presence most of the time, not always, to the level that I can keep that awareness going. It's like kind of keeping the engine going, and then be the observer. And then there is a part of me that's getting entangled. Now, sometimes I can catch the entanglement and I can go, oh, no, get back over here, right? It's like the mouse that runs out of the cage. Nope, get back over. Sometimes I let it go. And that's something that I'm looking at now, which is what am I gaining from letting that mouse go out there and go? Um, the fact that I'm looking at it is the expansion point. The fact that I'm looking at it is the matching principle that I'm talking about here. Nowhere in it is anything that I'm doing wrong. Nowhere in it is anything that I need to fix. Sometimes I do go into the fix thing. When I do, I can feel the resistance. And I also know that anytime I need to fix something, I'm going into 3D. Now, when I talk about creation is pulling down the energy and actually putting it into the 3D. This is what you came here to do. This is what you get to do. Now, if you are pulling down the energy and you are putting it into the 3D, into a container that looks exactly like something in your life that came before, and when I say exactly, that's relative. It could faintly look like that, or it could look a lot like that. It's going to be determined by your perception. And a lot of times it's someone reflecting back to you, no, I don't want to do that anymore. And you're like, but wait, it's different. Well, to them, it's not. So then to you, is it different, right? Because it's really just a reflection. Your whole world is just reflecting back what you can't see. So going back to this, if you're pulling down the energy and you're putting it into a bucket, that is a need, basically. And a need would be that you are missing something. And if you're missing something, then you're needing something that you knew before to come in. If you didn't know it before, then you couldn't be missing it. So a need is actually from the past. Now you can go, okay, well, I need a certain type of energy in my life. I need love in my life, right? Okay, so that's fine if you need love in your life. Do you need that love to look like it did before? Do you need that love to look like something that you would consider supportive and wonderful and all of this? Do you need, let's take money. Do you need money to come in from the business that you have now? Do you need money to come in from the person that you're living with in a certain amount? Like, there are things that are overshadowing you actually stepping into the self-expression of the new you, because what's happened is it's become more crucial and important for you to try and pull down the energy and put it into the 3D to look like it did before than it is to pull down that energy and go, wow, I do want love in my life, but I'm actually going to pull down the energy and I'm going to transmute that energy into seeing how it's already here. Then what you've done is you've gone into the amplification process. You've gone into the creation process itself. So you see the difference. Getting bucket needs it to look like that. Creation, how is it already here? Now, you actually get to rise and fall with the significance of things. And this is also an aspect of the matching principle. When you elevate the significance of the love that's already here, then what happens is you are putting yourself on the frequency that is going to call in that new aspect of love that is a match to the old aspect of the things that you wanted, but it looks different, but that doesn't matter because it's going to feel the same or better. You're on a different frequency. So hopefully this is making sense, because when you are creating from a need and from lack, then what's happening is you can't be all the way there, because source doesn't speak lack. And so if you are trying to create from an aspect of lack, then there is some type of resistance in your mind. So I've given you a few things here. The matching principle. We talked a little about the calibration, the win-win scenario. You actually creating with pour it into the bucket of lack. No wrong here. All of these things. So I'm actually going to leave this for now, and I want you to choose something within this that you're going to look at in your life. And then we have a call actually coming up in the SI Club in a couple of weeks. So if you're in the SI Club already, make sure you go ahead and put that on your calendar and register. If you're not and you want to join the club, $17, I would say jump in. If nothing else, then you'll get free access to the call. And we're going to have, actually, we have 2 of these live calls coming up. Or we're basically just expanding on this podcast, and you have an opportunity to put your questions in there, because we give you a way to drop your questions in. And I love it because it's a two-way conversation, and it takes us deeper and deeper. So anyways, so much love to you, and I'll see you on the next episode.